So 5 days on, got to be honest, I'm still absolutely fuming over it. First and foremost, I'm not going to discredit Holmer Green in any way, shape or form. Congratulations to them on the win. But I was massively disappointed. As I always say, I'm responsible for the tactics, I'm responsible for the shape, and I'm responsible for the system and inevitably substitutions. However, it's the first time with this group of players I've ever felt let down. To say I was irate at the end of the game would be an understatement. I told the players, they're well aware of my thoughts and feelings. We spoke at half time. Again, another game we go in 1-0 up. That should have been dead and buried. We haven't. I know we lost Jammers to a sin bin, which is the first sin bin I've ever seen for someone appealing, but that's another story for another day. But from my perspective, the game should have been dead and buried, and we hadn't. And second, all we spoke about at half-time was concentration, make sure we switch on, understanding that, don't keep giving away set pieces because they can hurt you. They will hurt you at this level. We should have, again, straight away from the restart, should have been 2-0 up, didn't take our chances, and then we give away a ridiculous free kick from the same position that Dan Naylor had scored from, and inevitably concede. And then from that moment onwards, we huffed and puffed. We had some incredibly good chances. And then out of nowhere, our set piece, we should have learned our lesson against Crawley Green away. We didn't. We decided to go rogue, and a few players decided to do their own jobs rather than the jobs they've been assigned. And unfortunately, we get sucker punched the other end, and fair play, it was a good finish. But there was just so many errors in the build-up to that goal. If we lock the lad in and stop him turning on the edge of the box, that doesn't happen. And then we're recovering and we're scrambling, and it's just simply not good enough. And I don't discredit Holmer Green in any way. I know their league position, but I warned our lads that could happen. And that won't be tolerated whilst I'm in charge of the team. And there will be changes afoot should that ever happen again. Can't have any complaints on Tuesday. Firstly, Mark Eaton's a manager and a person I have the utmost respect for, and I like him as a person and rate him highly as a manager. He's done a great job at Risborough this year. We have to be honest, we have to look at the game. They were better than us in every department. I can't have any complaints about that. We only really for about sort of 15 minutes at the start of the second half went after them, but their goalkeeper hasn't, other than right at the death, have a shot to save. They're a good side, they are mature, they're well organised, they're well drilled, they were patient, and what they do, like all teams do at that top end of the table, is when they're on top they punish you. When we're on moments on top, we don't do enough to punish other teams. So I have to give them credit. I really do hope that they go on to win the title. It'll certainly be an interesting one last day of the season, because I think they go to Salamis or Salamis go to them, and it'll be certainly an interesting way to see what happens at the end of it. But what's Tuesday certainly did show me was, if I'm being honest, and I look at our group as a group of players, we are not a top 3 side yet. We're probably in and around that 4th place position, in my opinion. The top 3 for me are just a little bit out of our reach at the moment. So it's our job to recruit right in the summer, make sure we bring 2 or 3 men in. We have to, we've still got a few that I think need to toughen up across the board. And I don't mean going around doing people. I mean in terms of heading the ball, in terms of tackling with your body weight, in terms of, doing the things really that you have to do at this level. It's not rocket science. So fingers crossed, that's the route that we'll go. But certainly we want to have a good challenge at it next year. I know everyone will be saying that, but we genuinely believe that. But we just got to make sure we recruit, as I said, some more men in the summer, and liven the group up a little bit. Starting to wonder if I've jinxed myself somewhere along the way. We've got a couple more injuries to report, and I think sometimes, when I look back and reflect, when you take a job mid-season and you take players that haven't had a full pre-season, it's inevitable you will pick up injuries, especially when the schedule starts increasing like we have had. Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost Isaac to a hamstring strain as well. So he'll be unavailable Saturday, but hopefully getting back for a week Saturday. Joe Sellers-West's probably a week out. We're hopeful to be able to get Carl Faulkner back for this Saturday. Jammers has got a dead leg from last Saturday, which has turned out to be quite a bad one. So unfortunately, unlikely we'll have him Saturday. But there's no excuses. We have to get on with it. It's easy to look back at our form, and we've obviously missed some key players, but that's the same for every team at the level. And what we have to do on Saturday is make sure that we go there, we get our performance levels right, and we don't sit there and perform like we did last Saturday, or have done the last 3 games. We've got to get back to our DNA, we've got to liven up, and we've got to start putting on a performance that gives us ultimately a good chance of winning on Saturday. So, like I say, every single week, there's no gimmies at this level. We got Crawley Green a week Saturday fighting for their lives. They've definitely picked up in terms of their performances, but we can't look past Oxhey on Saturday. They're a side that, like I say, at all levels, they've got some good players. They've had a few indifferent results. It's not going to be an easy place to go to. What I do know is, if we get back to the performance levels that we have had previously, bar the last 3 games, I think we've got a really good chance of going there and getting something, and certainly going to go there and get the 3 points. I think if we turn up like we have done and perform like we have done over the last 3 games, then it's going to be a very, very difficult afternoon for us. So that's the message we'll be getting to our players tonight. The 11 that will be entrusted with the shirt on Saturday have got to deliver. They've got to stand up, and I keep saying to people now, I'm looking at everybody within the organisation. My coaching staff, the infrared beam's on them as much as it is on the players, to make sure that nobody thinks we're going to put our feet up and take the next few weeks, with regards to holiday mode. It will not happen. It will not be tolerated. We've got to get back to winning ways starting Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if I can get a reaction out of this group of players, because they've been brilliant. They've had their credit, rightfully so, for the run that we've been on. But I'm certainly not going to stand by and allow the last 3 performances and think that that's okay. It's not. So hopefully we'll be back by some good support as always on Saturday, and look forward to seeing you all down there, and hopefully bring you 3 points and get us back to winning ways.